Sarah Ruhl's Eurydice retells the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice in a modern setting from her point of view. The internal logic of Ruhl's imaginative script emerged with clarity in the recent production at St. Louis University, thanks to the sharpness of the characterizations and the coherence of Tom Martin's direction. In the myth, the great musician Orpheus was so grief-stricken by the death of his wife that he descended to the underworld in the hope of bringing her back. He succeeded in persuading the king of the underworld to allow Eurydice to return to life on earth, but there was a catch. Orpheus was forbidden from looking back at Eurydice until they reached the surface. The temptation to look back was too great for Orpheus to resist, and Eurydice was lost to him forever. In Ruhl's version, Eurydice is lured away from her wedding reception by a nasty, interesting man who says he has a letter from her dead father. He really does. We saw the letter being written in the underworld. Unlike most spirits there, Eurydice's father has retained his memory. After Eurydice dies in a fall from the nasty, interesting man's high-rise, her father finds her in the underworld and cares for her with unstinting tenderness. Her memories are eventually restored, and so is their loving relationship. When Orpheus comes to the underworld to reclaim Eurydice, she is torn between her love for him and her love for her father. Her choices result in an ending that is more tragic than the one in the original myth. The depth of the character's feelings was conveyed vividly at SLU. Hallie Patterson captured the full depth of Eurydice's inner conflict. Blake Howard made her father the most solicitous of parents, and Jacob Hulton made Orpheus the most adoring of husbands. Valen Piotrowski was appropriately creepy in differing ways as both the nasty, interesting man and the bewilderingly juvenile lord of the underworld. Three Stones in the Underworld functions a kind of Greek chorus. Their gloom and irritability were delightful in the performances by Haley Guttridge as the small stone, Reed McLean as the big stone, and Laurel Button as the loud stone. There were costumes with admirable wit by Lou Bird, as were the other characters. Dan Gotterman's set, David LaRosa's lighting, Noah Weisbrod's video, and Aaron Johnson's music and sound design established a flexible space and an evocative atmosphere worthy of Ruhl's fascinating play.
Yeah, it is fascinating. I thought this was maybe the clearest production of it that I've seen. And I loved the way the Stones were treated also.
They were a hoot.